Hi, I wanted to jump on and do a little session for regulation during the festive season. It can be a lot. Um, just a lot of busyness, a lot of peopling, a lot of um, relating to others, and just it can just overwhelm people. And as we get kind of caught up in the busyness of it all, it can be increasingly difficult to be present and just check in with ourselves. So we kind of end up getting into this place by the time it's Christmas where we just feel totally exhausted and anxious and depleted. So just creating little moments where we can check in with ourselves and notice what's actually going on in our inner landscape and in our emotional landscape can create an opportunity to attune to ourselves, which basically means just noticing what's going on or noticing if we've got tension in some part of our body and just giving it a few minutes to be present with it, or notice if we've got lots of anxious thoughts or future focused fear going on, and just to kind of speak to ourselves like we would to somebody that we love. Imagine that you've got somebody that you really care about. It could be somebody younger, and how would you speak to them if they're feeling completely overwhelmed or dysregulated? Hopefully we wouldn't be kind of minimizing what they're feeling. We would be saying, oh, that's really hard, that sounds really difficult, let's just take a minute, I'm right here with you. So it's that kind of presence, when we can attune to ourselves in that way rather than shaming ourselves, that can make a difference in those moments where we feel like we are just going to lose the plot or cry or just want to run away and hide. So I also wanted to do a little bit of tapping with EFT. So it's just going to be a little quick fire, few rounds of it, and building in a little bit of self-compassion as well. So just take what resonates and disregard anything that doesn't. So maybe just taking a few moments now just to notice what's going on inside. So sitting somewhere where you can feel your feet on the floor, letting the contact points of a chair support you, and maybe just putting hands over different areas of your body. So for me, I generally like to kind of connect with myself over my abdomen, over my heart, but whatever feels nice to you. It might just be that your legs feel really restless. It might just feel that you are just holding a lot of tension. You might just want to kind of do some, movements around here. So just take a moment and just do whatever you need to do. I'm going to close my eyes for a minute just to connect with my inner landscape. Breathing in any way that feels comfortable for you. Just taking a little pause. Perhaps bringing your awareness to sound, to notice any sounds that are present around you. And it could even be your breath as it goes in and out. And just noticing how your body is feeling, bringing your awareness inside. Do you have any nagging sensations, any flutters, any constriction, any aches or pains? We're not trying to change anything, we're just being present with what is. And if it feels okay to do so, then letting your awareness rest on those places, just with curiosity, noticing what's going on. And if there was a really wise part of you in this moment that could step forward, what might it be saying to those parts of you that feel, whatever it is, in whatever way you may be dysregulated? What would that voice be saying to you at the moment? And if nothing comes up, then perhaps if it's the wisest, most compassionate part of you, it might be saying, I'm right here. You're safe. In this moment, everything is okay. And then we'll begin doing some tapping. So just copy what I do with my hand movements. You can use either hand, you can use both hands on the points, whatever feels comfortable. If I say something it doesn't resonate, just use your own words. And this is just a little freestyle, okay? So we'll begin by tapping. So I'm going to say the whatever it is and then leave a gap for you to speak. Even though I've got a lot on and I'm feeling stressed, I would like to accept myself as I am. Even though I'm carrying a lot of tension and stress, I choose to feel what I feel. Even though I feel overwhelmed and stressed, I am here to support myself through this. I have got such a lot going on. My head is full of plans and things to do. I feel this undercurrent of stress every day. And I really want to be enjoying this time of year. But instead I just feel overwhelmed at all the things I need to do. I allow myself to feel what I feel. Even though I give myself a hard time. And I feel like I should be able to do all these things and many more. Maybe I can offer myself some grace. Maybe good enough is good enough. Maybe I can be patient and kind. Let's keep going. Even though I find it hard to be patient and kind with myself sometimes, I am open to the possibility of it. Even though I feel like I should give myself a hard time so that I do better. Maybe there's a kinder way I can do this. Even though sometimes my head is a battlefield and I tell myself unkind things, I am open to being kinder to myself. Sometimes I find it easier to criticize myself, as I hope it will make me do better. But it ends up just making me feel worse. I know sometimes I give myself a hard time, or I set myself unrealistic deadlines. And then I feel like I'm failing when I don't achieve them. How would it be if I took some things off my list? How would it be if I didn't achieve everything I set out to achieve? How could I work with that anxiety that if I don't do these things, who will? I feel sometimes the pressure to make everything the best it can be. But if that leaves me feeling really stressed and overwhelmed, then perhaps that isn't kind to me. I wouldn't put this pressure on anybody else. So why have I become my own dumping ground for this pressure? Just because I can do all the things doesn't mean I have to. When I know better, I can do differently. if all of these things that I need to do are going to run me into the ground, I would rather choose personal peace than perfection. Maybe it's okay to not be perfect. Maybe it's okay to let some of the things slide. Maybe it's okay to ask for help. Maybe it's okay to let go of control. And if all of that brings up even more stress and anxiety, then maybe it's okay to keep going as I do, but to take some time to pause in between. I am not valued on what I do. I have value in who I am. There is only one of me. And I would really like to love and appreciate me as I am. Okay, then take some breaths and maybe just make some stretches in any way that feels comfortable for you. Yeah, so you can just freestyle with tapping. You can just, whatever's coming up for you, even though I feel, and then you can add in, I love and accept myself, or I accept how I feel, or I am open to feeling differently. So just play around with it. And then these points, even if you just remember a few of them, it's literally like a stream of consciousness. Just what is going on for you is a space just to kind of let it all out. And then, when we get to this point, which is a really lovely regulating point, even it just feels nice just to rub it like this, you can just drop in some kind words. What would somebody that loves you say to you if it's hard to know what to say to yourself? So I hope you found that helpful. Take good care.